them is that the Wi-Fi ends. It's not unlimited. It ends. So you run out. They'll give you 500 gigs. So if you run out of the 500 gigs, then you have to buy data or while you subscribe to something that must last you a month. With the telecom stuff and stuff is that's why and the speed changes. The speed changes each and every
Towards
week.
the end
So
of the month.
yeah, the first 2 weeks the speed is good, and then after that there's a problem.
But I've never had an issue. I have a student house where there's 4 students in the house, and I use the router one, not the fiber. And I opted for a package of 2010 megabytes per second, and I'm paying 480.
Oh wow, that
Yes,
and then it's
I never.
unlimited.
Yes, it is. I never had an issue. It's only towards like the 2 days of month and before month end where it is a little bit slow. But otherwise, they stream. Most student what they do. They also binge, and I never had issues. Although you can also try MWeb. I don't know how is it in Cape Town.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's begin with the session, but I need an alternative route with this Ray. If I'm breaking time, please legalele. But Manzi is also coming. He's gonna just take us from the few moments of the sessions, then we'll take it from there. We did have a discussion. That's the call we were having with Fubanzi just before I went in. We were just having a discussion of people of this group of the people that just recently joined this group that we're having the beginner course with. You guys are speeding. You want the actual concept. You don't want the background. You don't want to understand the type of investor you are. You just don't want the concept. You just want like right now. Like nina nifuna yonke into manje. You are like that. Now, you want now to take your 10,000 and go fund your easy equities. If it gets lost, it gets lost. So, but the conversation I was having with Ubans is let's try to be precise as much as possible because you guys tend to want that. Is that true? Or in
That is true.
So I just had to make it known to the team and everyone. Ukuthi, it gets to that point. Ukuthi mina nirashile, but we'll take you through the concept. I don't know if you're about to say corner quickly. Let me check on my laptop if I'm born because I'm using my phone. I think my phone connects better on Wi-Fi. Then Mta, please just check on Obanzi quickly.
The corner.
Oh, you are here. Because the team yakuba irashile. They are so in a rush, Mbona. They are so in a rush. They don't want to unpack their understanding of money, their spiritual of money. They don't wanna understand the concept. They don't want the background. They just want the practicality.
No, it's fine. I think. Let me just.
Yeah, again. I think I was breaking there. Can you still hear me?
I know we can hear. I'm saying, let me come in. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
No, Onika, you're
Yes,
the one
you're
that has the
audible.
problem. I can hear Banzi. Banzi, you can come in.
Oh, okay, not Onika Gav. Can you just type in the chats, guys? We can hear, but I'm talking now. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is unfortunate that investors are not people that are patient. But there's different types of investors. So for those who are not patient, I don't think this program is going to be of use for you of value. I mean, there are people who started last year who attend each and every session, even if it is repeat information, they still attend and they find value and they are patient. And I think if you are talking investment, it is long term. If you are someone who just wants imali quickly, there's a program for that as well. There is eForex, there is e-trading that you can do so that you can lose money quickly, you win money quickly. And I think the reason why we asked people to complete a questionnaire is for us to know who are we dealing with. So if you have not completed the questionnaire, you are not interested in doing all of these things that you are doing, you just want to invest, then it's going to be very difficult. And if you lose money, we are not responsible. All we are doing is providing information and making sure that you go through that journey, because this information is so much that you can't just learn in one day, as well as the fact that you need to, especially even if you are going to be, let's say you are a long-term investor, you're a growth investor. If you do not know how to manage funds and you don't know what is controlling your behavior, you are going to put in money, invest, and then when things happen in the markets, you're seeing money growing, you want to withdraw. There are people who have started tax-free savings, excuse me. There are people who have tax-free savings and they've been contributing, and then they withdraw. That thing goes against it. It just ruins everything, and it takes away from the purpose of why you are investing. So if I can see the show of hands, those people that have not completed a questionnaire, firstly, let's start there. How many people have not completed the questionnaire? Okay, 3, 5. And is there a reason why you haven't completed? Is it because you are new in the group, or is there a reason why you haven't completed it? Are you one of those people who don't find value in it and you just want to do this and just invest?
I'm new in the group. I haven't received a questionnaire. I was going to ask later after the meeting if I can get one.
Okay, that's fine. I'm sure they are sharing it now in the group. Other people? Is there a reason why you haven't completed it?
Hi, I'm still new. I'm gonna complete it this week.
Okay. All right. Other people?
Hi, good day. I'm also still new.
Okay.
I saw it, but I only saw it like this morning.
Oh, okay.
And then
No, that's
I
fine.
just didn't go through it there because I did not understand what to do. I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. And then those who have, yeah. All right, you can lower your hands. Yeah, so like I said, well, what we'll touch on today, we'll just give an overview. Okay, can you lower your hands? Let's say then the people who just are not interested in learning anything, they just want to know where to invest their money. How many are there here in this group? You don't want to understand how things work. You don't want to know what these ETFs are, these tax-free savings are, the bonds, all these types of tools where people invest their monies. You are not interested. You just want to know where do you invest on easy equities. Okay, Martha, is that you?
Hi, Banzai.
Yes, you're raising your hand. Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't raise my hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So let me see if I can project. So Onikake came so defeated, and he's like, this is what you are going to be talking about today based on the demands of his people that are in the group. So we are just going to be dealing with that. Because gay people are not. Yes, Onik, you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say, Guti, we faced some couple of struggles with Umtai in the last session. People were just showing a lot of disinterest, while the old learners were trying so hard to tell people, Guti, where they started, what was their end goal and how they learned, and people were just showing a disinterest and not interested. When they want the concepts, they just want to spend their money and invest their money. They don't know the time horizons. They don't know the different financial concepts and strategies where you can take. They don't want to know diversification. They want to unpack concept. They were asking about tax-free savings. I was like, you are just arrived. It's going to confuse you, because when we talk about, for example, tax-free savings, we're going to have to talk about the penalties, the tax implication and whatnot. It's going to confuse you. Just go with the program and the baby steps. So it made us feel we don't know what we're doing, and we don't have a plan for the people and what needs to be done, because everyone is just up to speed. And we tried to calm everyone. They kept on saying, what are we paying for? So I was like, let's just keep the concept.
But that's strange though, because the logo, if okay, Sisbu, you can come.
Good evening, future planners. Yes, I was part of that meeting, the previous meeting on Banzi. I think what we maybe need to do now is to just give them what they want, because with some of us, we are going to learn anyway, even in this in this instance. There's never a new knowledge that gets to waste. So let's just get into what they required, because their expectation, let's just try and meet their expectation. It's then that they will maybe learn to say, okay, indeed, I learned something, or I was so confused. Let's just give them what they want. It's not a problem. I'm joining this meeting in as much as I'm a bit older in terms of this. Yeah, I started beginning of this year. But let's just give them. I understand where you are coming from as the presenters or as the ones who are overseeing this program. But let's try and give them, so that maybe that will also assist others who might come later to say that, you know what, I thought that this is how things should be done. However, this is how I've learned.
Okay.
Let's just give them what they want.
All right. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Sisbu. Thank you.
Because one of the things that they mentioned, sorry, but one of the things that they mentioned is that we need to follow the program. And I could also understand them, because they are new and the expectation is that we're going to discuss about stocks, and now we're not discussing about stocks. Let's just give them that, and then they will see as to whether they are understanding it or not. Thank you.
All right, Sisbu. Thank you. Okay, who else wants to say something? Let's open the floor before I start. Can we see the screen? Can you see what I'm sharing? I can't see on my side.
Yes,
I can see. What are you seeing me from?
You're presenting, choosing the right asset classes, the presentation.
Okay, it's just that I can see the presentation on my side now. All right, yes, continue. On Metse.
It's Umpimetse. I was, I'm new and I was on the last week's session on Thursday. There was a lot of discussion there, but being new, I would think it would be useful for those who are new to get the full background as it was planned, because some of us came here to learn. Those who already have the knowledge, maybe they can wait for sessions that are more suitable for them.
Remember, Kaloku, this is the session for the new people. It's divided into two. There's Mondays and then there's Thursdays. Mondays is the session for new people, everyone who's still struggling to understand what is going on. That session is specifically for them. The Thursday, the stock analysis is for the people who have been in the program, who understand. We understand everything. We've dealt with all of the ETFs, everything we've dealt with. Now that session is specifically because it's high level. It's for people who know now how to analyze a company. We've spoken about understanding on analyzing a company, what you are looking at, all of that. So, but the problem is that we opened that platform for everyone to join in and to research if they want. For people who are in a hurry, they can listen in, then they can see, oh, there's a company, I'm gonna just invest, because they listened into the session as the other investors were discussing and sharing their reasons why they would buy into that company. That's why we opened it. Then we go back for those who are new. This session is for those who are new. So if I'm understanding then from what you were discussing on Thursday, you don't want this session for those who are new. You just want to go into a session for people who just want to start. Because that's how we've designed it. There's a calendar. It lists beginners, the advanced, beginners, advanced. It breaks it down. And the people who are in advanced are still here because they are patient people, they are investors. They still come. Oh, Sisbui are still coming. Oh, Tabang. They still come and learn from the beginning. They don't get bored because more information, the more you hear, the more you improve, the more you get better. So that's how we are designing this program. Okay, Honest one.
Hi, Banze. I think I agree with the speakers about Pumbana. The people that don't want to learn, they mustn't attend this session because now we're all going to be affected. I was listening to old YouTube videos. Like, it's so nice where, I don't know whether it's Tabang, where he said, like, we were talking about the emotional attachment to the money, where he was spending 400 Rand on groceries and people were talking and I was listening there and I could identify, but we don't have such sessions here because everybody just wants to go and invest. And then now we end up losing out on so many things. And those videos on YouTube, they're limited because the other chart, it doesn't have all videos. So now if we are being rushed here, we're not going to have a platform to go listen them to the previous videos. So that then we then grow and have a good foundation. So the people that are rushing, maybe they must just skip this class.
Yeah.
But can I come in? I think that's a great plan. They must just go to the rush question. But what I'm so afraid of, they are still new. They don't understand anything, and then they are rushing. And the weird thing that will happen to them is that they join the group. They just put money. They don't know where to press easy equities. Because the strategy is once you've learned all the concept, you know where to press. You know what we mean when you specify your portfolio. You'll know the concept. The reason we are breaking them down from foundation level is for you to be empowered, not to be just doing for the sake of doing. So the same system we are using is the same system that's used by fund managers of the bank. They know the concept, they know what's going on. When there's a shift in the world, they don't panic and take their money or sell their shares because they know what to do. So if people, they're not patient with themselves, that's how they get scammed, because a lot of them kept on reminding, wow, what are we paying for on Thursday? I was like, hey, it's bigger than me now, but I'll tell the team, people are just in a rush. So I believe the people that are in a rush must not join the beginners. They must just join the expert session, and then they will just hear concept and highlight.
But if they are complaining in the expert session, I would understand maybe if they were complaining in my session on Monday. If they were complaining in that session, then that's why I'm confused. But that is now the business of the day. You are there to Here is
No,
there's
what
there
happened?
is equities. You go and invest. You chose here's the company. Are you investing in this one or not? That is the business of the day. So maybe
No, the reason they were complaining, we were just continuing the Monday session, just a quick run through and everything, and then we were gonna do the other two companies. But now what stopped the session, it was them just complaining. Why is we like the complaining defeated the purpose of the day, and we now we're investing time also going back there. It will also defeat the purpose of today. So let's just
okay, yeah, let's quickly finish and disc so that we can get into the program. Okay, let's clean house. Okay, let me hear the other people. Do me quickly and then sorry, Rati, and then you can come anonymous.
Oh,
Okay,
evening,
evening.
everybody.
I'm sorry, but hear me.
Okay, it's Rati. I think he said Rati.
Yes, but yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I wasn't in the meeting for last week Thursday. I don't know what went down. But then I also feel sorry for you guys. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm also the person who thought that I think I was also in the rush, but it was due to the lack of knowledge. But now that you are explaining it, because Banzi Mina, I followed you, I think since from 2022, but I was not joining because I was thinking that I'm going to join once I have money to invest, because I thought that I need to have money first. So now that I have money, I thought that it was going to be a quick thing and then I'm going to invest. But since I have joined, because I joined last week, since I've joined, I now understand that this needs patience. So I don't think it is all of us who just want to rush because we are without knowledge. We just came in with this thing of, I'm having this money right now and I don't want to eat this money, so I want to invest this money. So we cannot all be bottled in one, thing. So for those who are willing to do the fast thing, maybe they have knowledge, they can go on. But for us who did not have knowledge, I think we would say we need to learn to be patient. And I'm one of those people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rati. Nondumiso?
Evening, guys. I don't want to say much. There is a calendar for a reason, and I think the calendar is very straightforward, and you know what you want. If you want to be here on a Monday, be here. If you don't want to be here, come on Thursday. Let's not wallow around this, because like Onika is saying, us going back and forth in this is a waste of time. Sadly, because my son was not well on Thursday, I had to leave the class early. But guys, we are adults. Let's act like adults. If you feel this is not for you at this moment, you can come out and you can join later at a stage that suits you. Nobody's gonna shoot you. It's your investment. It's your time. It's your knowledge that you want to like grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Nondumiso. Mosidi.
Hi, everyone. I'm also new. I just joined last week. And to Onika, I just wanted to let you know that for some of us who are new, I didn't find any problem with last week's class. It was rather motivating for me to say, to see that, you need to start somewhere. This is not like a rushed situation where it's like a quick money-making scheme. It takes time, it takes patience. So some of us are here to actually learn because we are here for long term and we're just not here to make money quick. Because the quicker it comes, the quicker it goes. So I just wanted to say, don't be discouraged by the few people who complain. There are some of us who are actually willing to learn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mta, you wanted to say something?
No, yeah, well, Onika just touched on it, but I just wanted to say the reason why they were complaining last week was because what we spoke about on Monday got into Thursday, and so people just thinking that we were gonna unpack about the stocks, and we went over time.
Oh, you went over time. Okay, no, then you didn't manage. Did you guys get through the stocks?
No. There wasn't time to go through the stock, so we decided that on Thursday we're just gonna tackle the 2 from last week Thursday and the 2 for the Thursday that we're doing. Yeah.
All right. So for those people who are in a rush, you can attend on Thursday. We'll do 4 companies, 4 analysis. So yeah. So yeah. Let me just now project so that I give an overview. Okay. All right. You can see the screen now. No, it's fine then. Let me not come here. Let me go to the beginning then, because I do not unfollow Robabandu who haven't done anything wrong, who are patient, because it's a mixture of people. So we need to then paint a full picture as to why we are here. What is it that we are discussing, and how does the whole thing look like when you're talking about finance and financial planning? Because it's not just about you buying shares, investing, getting a tax-free saving, also today I was having a meeting with a client, Banzi. This is what I did with the bank. I signed up, I did this tax-free, and I have no idea. Because I was like, why did they, when you were signing up with the bank, did they explain why you are doing this? They didn't understand. Do you understand the interest you are earning from this? Do you understand? So a lot of us, we just sign up for things. We sign up for retirement annuities. We sign up for things that we have no clue how they work. So when they talk to you, because you don't know what you are dealing with, you don't understand what what is happening. I was even looking at someone who was even responding to my video where I was referring to someone, if you invested 500 a month, you would, but in 40 years time, you could have 17 million. So they were asking, it's 15 million. So they were saying, but how is it that our pensions are not the same? How is it that we are contributing for 30 years, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, but we don't get those levels of investment? So if you understood how things work, you will understand what is happening with your pension funds. You'll understand why are they not. So you would understand why your pensions are not growing as much. And I was even sharing with another friend of mine yesterday who's an investment broker. And I was saying that, with GEPF, especially for people who are working for government, that their pensions, that the way that institution is run, it's literally now a pyramid scheme. There is no growth in the investments where they are investing your funds. They don't grow. And the only reason why it cannot collapse is because there is over 2 million of you who's contributing, and then if there's 100,000 people who are retiring, they take from those contributions, and then maybe there will very little interest that they make from some investments that then carry. But you are being robbed in terms of the potential, the amount of money you could have earned if it was done properly by people who had interests to grow your funds at heart. They are just using the funds to fund their businesses, to fund their friends. It's unmonitored. It's politicians who sit on boards and tell the people to invest monies there, and the monies get lost. So that's how it works. But if you understood, and you understood how these things work, you would have engaged with your lender, your unions and all of that. And if even the people in the unions who are decision makers, they would have been able to encourage. Tsolofolo, do you have a question? Tsolofelo, or is that you raised your hand by mistake? Okay, let me lower it. It's going to interrupt me. All
Sorry.
right.
No, I'm sorry. I do have a question, Banzi. Sorry. It's Tsolofelo, yes. Banzi, with what you were talking about, we are experiencing a problem now with my dad. He recently passed away, which was sometime last year. And he was a pensioner for Telkom. whereas he decided that with his pension, he only wants a portion to be paid out, and the rest he must get it monthly. So now that he passed away, my mother is getting that money monthly. So she recently went to the lawyers that my dad was using to do a will. And now he had shares with Telkom, which was in the olden days, staff members for Telkom, they used to get shares. Now, when we were trying to inquire about those shares, we are not getting proper information regarding the shares, what's going on with the shares and so on. So now the lawyer tells my mother, who is a pensioner now, that my mother owes them 50,000, but they are not giving us any valid information, what's happening with the shares, and then now what's happening with the house, because of we know the house belongs to my mother, because of she's the one who applied for the house, and then my father just applied for the loan, for the bond to just renovate the house. So, but that loan was paid up, that bond was paid up. So what is happening is that now the lawyers are telling her, no, you need to pay us 50,000, or you need to sell your house, or we need to sell your car. So I don't know why.
Of the estate. Did you appoint them?
No, they are not.
What
We
are they?
did not appoint them. What I understood was that they were just supposed to tell my mother, they were just supposed to assist my mother with the will.
Oh, no, I think what
that
we
my
can do,
dad.
yeah, because I don't want to go in too much. I don't have much time. I'm still studying. I've got a group meeting that I need to attend to. So for the sake of time, can we maybe with your mother, so that you can forward it to the office, so that we can understand what is happening, and then we can then advise properly as to what steps you guys can take. But you cannot pay before we understand, we read through the documents.
Okay.
Yeah,
no problems, because of like I've also bought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's book a consultation, and then we will prepare all the documents. If you're saying your dad had shares, is there share certificate? Is there something that was written, maybe something that he received? And then
yes,
we'll look.
He does have a share certificate.
Yes, that's fine. Okay, then that's fine. We'll take it from there. If there is, that's all that we require. Because a share certificate is like a title deed.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll do that. All right. So as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you stop sharing so that I back on the screen now? Just stop sharing on your side. I'll share on my side. It's black on the screen.
Oh, you can't see?
No, the screen is black.
Oh, it's black.
Let me try sharing. But you can just continue speaking, and then yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Guys, can you? Okay, no, it's fine. Are you sharing on your side? Because now I can't find the document. Oh, there it is. Okay. So as I was saying, part of what we are trying to do is to paint a picture as to how does everything in this finance world work. And a major part of it is that we need to understand where we are going. If you don't know where you are going, what you want to achieve, then it is going to be very difficult for you to understand certain things. You will take whatever is coming your way. You will, especially when we are having those company analysis. At the beginning, when we started, people were like, am I going to buy all these companies? Because every time we analyze a company, everyone has some motivation and they feel that this company, they will put money in it. And then they were asking then, how long will we have to pay to invest in these companies? And I was like, you're not going to invest in all the companies we're analyzing. But if when at the beginning of the session, you understood where you are going, it's easier. It's going to be easy when you sit and when we analyze a company where you'll know, but these two, it's not for me because it doesn't fit on my plan. I am this type of an investor. I'm a conservative investor. I want stability. I want stable growth. I want predictable growth. I want minimum risk. So when we're analyzing a company like there was the other company that was involved in fertilizers and mining and in mines, mining fertilizer, but it was in Congo. That company, by the looks of things, it looks risky, but it could have had you invested, because we analyzed that company before the war.
Oh.
Sorry, what's happening now? We analyzed that company before the war in Iran, and had the people who had a high risk appetite when they invested in a company like fertilizers, and then the Strait of Hormuz was closed, then there was the opportunity where now people cannot invest or they cannot import fertilizers in Qatar, which is the biggest fertilizer producer, and they were shipping in all over the world. So now they couldn't ship in Qatar. So new companies like these mining companies that we're analyzing were now the next big opportunity, but there were risk involved because it's in Congo, it's in a high war zone. So if you are that person who doesn't care about risks, you know, if there's an opportunity, you can make a lot of money, you know when you want to make this money, for how long, because all of those come into the time horizons. Those are things that are mentioned when we are talking finance. It's how long do you plan on investing this money? If there is you invested, you buy a company with 10,000 rands, you make 1 million. Is it enough for you? Will you pull your money? Because based on your goal, you wanted this money and now you've reached it. Will you pull or will you invest more? So all of those things, they come into play. And if you are somebody who will not see the bigger picture, then you will, Onika is blank even on your side. Okay, is it on my side? That is blank. Oh, okay.
I think it's on your side. I'm seeing
no,
something. Yeah.
Were you able to see on my side? Because now like I don't really follow. I go left, right. As I'm thinking, I don't really follow a presentation. Can you go to the next slide?
Yeah. I'm using two devices, so it's fine. When I just give us a mind map and just a quick overview, and then now just stick on the few concepts. Even this presentation, we can't do it in one session. Yeah. I'll just give a whole overview, and then I'll just take a deep dive on the concepts quickly.
Can you go up?
But I'm using phone. I'm using phone so I can see if it's working or it's not working. I can see the presentation. This is the beginning. It's gonna change. It's gonna change.
Let me go to the slide that I want. Yeah, go to the goals one, the next one. Yeah, the next one. So I don't know if Onika had shared with you the example of the goals. Did you have this? Did you talk about this before? And
no.
The session, because this is what you were supposed to talk about on Thursday, just to touch on it. But like I said, we go back to the roadmap. Can you mute your neck? I'm getting feedback on your side. Please mute your device. If you don't know where you are and where you are going, for example, if you are working at a government job, you are relying on your pensions when you are older. You need to understand what is the quality of life do you need? Will you have when you retire, because you will only get a portion of your salary. So when you get a portion of your salary, including inflation over the period of years, will you be able to survive your retirement? And most of the people who retire cannot afford. And like I was saying, that it's important when you understand these concepts and you understand why you are here, you will be able to, even when you are sitting with your financial advisor who is handling your pension funds, you'll be able to understand. Like, for example, a client of mine last week, I think they are here in the group, after we had the sessions, they then went back, because when they looked at what they were withdrawing, they had 3 million in their pensions, they've retired, and then next thing, they are seeing that their money is not growing. Therefore, they will not survive in the next 10 years, because what they are getting, they're getting 30,000, but it is eating on the capital. Because she understood the whole concept, now she was able to look into her books and realize that, yay, I'm in trouble here. My capital is depreciating, but I'm withdrawing. And then when she went back to look, because she understood by Yena, she's supposed to be getting 10% of her withdrawals. The fund is supposed to be making at least 10% in interest so that her capital does not depreciate. And that's what she was told by the financial advisor. But when now we started looking at the books, at what was written now, because the financial advisor is saying one thing, but now at the end of the period, the money is getting less. So with the first year, she started with 3 million, and now within the end of the year, it's 2.5 million. That means it's 500,000 that is going a year. That means within 5 years, the money will be finished. And what will happen when she lives up until 80 years? So it means then she will depend on her children. And that is not the life that she wanted for herself and for her children. So because she understood that, she was able now to say, go back and say, but why are you withdrawing 12%? But the fund is making less than 12%. And then that's where she found out that it's because 2% is charges. The fund, the fees that the financial advisor is charging. So plus her 10%, then it means she's withdrawing more than what the capital is making. But that is why then you need to understand the concepts about what we're discussing, so that you can look and understand when you are looking at your own things. So part of the whole program that we have designed is to paint you a picture so that you understand that, okay, if I'm going to retire and I only have 3 million, how am I going to manage it? Will I take the GEPF route, where if I withdraw, I get my lump sum, I stick with these guys, and if anything, if I live more than 5 years after I've retired, then my children will not get the pension that I'm getting. So I would rather manage it myself. Or you understand those things. So all of that you can work based on your goals. And that is where I want to go to, is that when you are here, you have to design your financial goals. And that's what Onika is going to touch on more in terms of why you have to have those goals. So the goal setting is important. You have to create a budget, and you need to understand how to manage debt, good debt, bad debts. Once you can keep, once you should not. There are people here who also think that they can take a credit card or they take a loan and buy shares. Why you shouldn't do that? Those are things we'll be discussing, but why can you not do that, or why you should do that? Those are things that we'll be exploring. Also, we'll be touching on, as well as, like I mentioned with the client, it's retirement planning. What can you do to supplement your pension? There is the RAs, and we'll have a speaker that will be talking about why you should have both a pension fund and a retirement annuity, because they both are there designed to make sure that you can have a comfortable retirement. And then we'll also look at protecting your assets, looking at insurance, risk management. This part is more of risk management as well. You're having a car, you don't have insurance, things can happen. All of those things that can put you in a bad financial position where now you end up withdrawing your savings, cashing in on your retirement annuities, those bad things that will put you back. So that is what we'll be dealing with throughout. And it's not something that we're going to finish in one day for those who are impatient. It's things that will be going in. And then also, when we are talking about investments, then if you can go to that slide, Onika, of the V shape. The V shape, go down, go down, go down. Yeah. So when we be talking about investments, we'll be talking about how do they work in the overall scheme of things. What type of investments, and also it also depends on you understanding the type of investor you are. You see, when you understand the type of investor you are there, it's going to make sense now. So here, this is going to make sense because it will tell you which asset class you must choose. Are you going to choose stocks more? Are you going to invest on bonds more for those who are conservative? Are you going to invest more on real estate and you understand the management, the risk around the real estate properties and investing in properties? Or are you going to be in alternative, an alternative investor in terms of that stock, trading, forex, all of that? Umtage is here as an expert in that one. Or do you just keep money in the bank? So those are the things that we'll be discussing over the period. Yeah, I think I'll end there for now. And then you must look at the calendar. Onika is going to then break down as to when are we dealing with stocks. We'll unpack ETFs, all types of stocks. And then Pago stocks, that's where the Thursday session also comes in. And then we'll be having sessions for bonds and other types of investments. Thank you for now. Onika, you can continue.
Okay, thank you so much, Banzi, but I want to just take it back to the top, guys. So do you understand why it's not just you having money aside and using the money to invest? It's understanding the concept, understanding, talking to yourself, understanding your goals. So as much as we can reiterate that, that is very important. Just touching base on e-retirement planning, we have Ilan who's a financial advisor that we have partnered with to unpack more of the RAs. Unfortunately, we can't unpack more RAs and their different concepts. That's for people to supplement the Ilando's provident funds, because on your provident fund you get 5,000 per million. So as a salary, if you already contributed 5,000 and then you want to get your provident fund as a salary, you're gonna get 5,000. If you already contributed a million, you then gonna get you're gonna get 5,000. So they calculate it as per million. So if you contributed a million, if you wanna retire now, wanna get a salary from that, you're gonna get 5,000. So imagine now what you're gonna afford with 5,000. Already have your bonds, your cars, your whatever. 2 million is then 10,000. 3 million is 15. 4 million is thingy. So there's three different structures and concept of long-term planning. The way we talk about e-bonds, Gengoku, we talk about your tax-free savings, we'll talk about your RAs and also your provident fund. That's your long-term planning. So that's your goal. We call them, that's your golden years, because what if God gives you enough grace for you to survive Earth till you are 80? So you want to retire at 60 years, but you're going to stay alive and fresh and energized till you are 80. Are you going to be that grandparent where your kids are not so, don't want to be around you, don't have money for sweets, you can't even travel, you've been working hard for your whole life, now that you are sitting down, you're in retirement, you're still working hard? Are you going to be that, or you're going to be our mothers? The other day I was in court, I saw this lady, she's like 70 something, and then we were just having a conversation. She's saying, are you gonna be that lady who's still a domestic worker at the age of 75? So you need to ask yourself those concepts, and it brings us to this next slide, the importance of your goal settings. Example, which is your financial goals, your short term. So what are you saving for? That's when we're unpacking last week, goal save, the role of a goal save. You're just having your short term goals, then you can do them. And then the reason we see people communicating about Time Bank is because your Time Bank has the biggest returns. That's 10% for a fixed savings. And that's 10% first. And then there's medium-term goals. So maybe you want to buy a car, you want to have a very good down payment on your house so that your interest rates and the number of years are lesser. Then there's long-term where there's retirement planning involved. There's you opening a tax-free saving for your kids, opening a tax-free saving for yourself, thinking about your golden years. So those are the concepts we're going to unpack. As I'm saying, we can't even finish this presentation in one time because it's going to be too much information to stomach. So that's what we're doing. But the more you read it and you know, and you understand what's the whole program. So the reason it's written an introductory course. It's introducing all these concepts, and then we're gonna keep on cutting the whale piece by piece, because you can't lift a whale. That's why you can't fish a whale, because it's a very huge animal. So you have to take a piece. So there are some countries in China whereby there will be 100 families that would like on very poor background, they would like bait a whale, and then they go strangle it out of the water. They keep on portioning it piece by piece so that each family can feast from the whale. So treat it as that. Don't rush it, because you're not gonna understand, and you're gonna be those people. You're gonna get to easy equities. You're gonna buy something, you see it not moving, you don't understand why is it not moving. So retirement planning in financial planning is one of the biggest concepts, because God will give us grace. God will give us years. It's one of the biggest concepts. So you need to ensure that you live comfortable even when you're old. You need to exceed your future expenses to now understand, okay, I have much more change, or when I'm getting my 1/3 of my provident fund and then I keep the other one invested, I won't be leaking from my money. So you need to have that conversation with yourself. So we all know our ages, you all know yourself, and you know the sacrifices you can do for that, depending on the time you have. The younger you are, the more chance you have. The older you are, there's no problem. You can still have a chance. Guys, give me that's why I guess sometimes you'll find we're having a conversation on concepts, because I don't like speaking alone. Who is here? Is it Ginger?
Hi.
Ginger GTV, you can unmute your mic.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I just wanted to quickly ask you, or Nika and Manzi, and whoever's here who can answer this. So as you're talking about retirement plan, I just wanted to quickly find out from you, do you think it's a good idea, the two-part system that's happening right now, do you think that it's a good idea to maybe withdraw a bit from the two-part, but not to use it, to go put it into the retirement annuity? Is that a good idea? Does it make financial sense?
No, it's not. It doesn't make financial sense. It's not a good idea. With your RAs or retirement annuity, you sit down with your planner. So your planner establish your estate. So with guys, this is not financial advice. There's a specialist in this, but just to answer the question. So your planner then establishes your estate, and then make you take a package that will supplement your needs. If they say, okay, this is your salary, you have a house, you have a car, so you want to have rates when you're older, you want to have this, and you have kids, and then this is their lifestyle, this is their school. So the financial advisor then helps you calculate which policy you're going to take that will make you reach there. If you're going to take a 500 policy, and then when you're 65, it's going to give you 1.5 million, and then you still have your provident fund to supplement, then help each other, you can take that, and then you can think. So it's pointless to go withdraw your two-pot system to put on a lump sum. So many retirement annuities strategies, they don't have lump sums. What does then have lump sums? It's tax-free savings. But we will unpack tax-free savings, and your tax-free savings can form part of Ilanduza retirement annuities, because with your tax-free, you are putting money away, but it will be untaxed, but at least it's compounding better. And this financial institution can help you, and the financial planners can help you with the tax-free saving. So an alternative to retirement annuities are tax-free savings, because with the retirement annuity, you're going to have contributions, but there's that tax will implicate you. So you're going to be taxed at your provident fund because of your contribution, and at your RA because of your contribution. That's why now we have that concept that is called tax-free savings, whereby whatever you contributed on your side for yourself and to sustain or to supplement your provident fund doesn't get taxed. So to just answer your question simply, when I say so just spoke. So the provident two-pot doesn't have much, and what you need to understand with the two-pot, guys, it's not helping you. Sorry, I'm gonna spend less than a minute. I'm looking at time. It's 8 minutes past 8 now. So at 9 minutes, I'll leave that. But two-pot system was introduced by the government because they saw Guti. The biggest revenue in South Africa is pay as you earn. So the reason they introduced two-pot was not to help you, it was to tax you more. So now the government couldn't wait to tax you till you are 65. Then they came with the creative concept of two-pot to take a portion of your money so that they can tax you on it now, because they need the tax to pay the loans from the World Bank. So two-pot system is not for you. Is for South Africa, because they know you have this precious money that you've been contributing for 10 years. So if you take a little bit of portion and you're going to take like a 50,000, then they're going to tax on that 50,000 a certain percentage depending on your tax bracket. So in that 50,000, they will take 13,000 from it, and then you're going to get 37. So they know good to that 13,000 helps them as a government. So it was the bad decision of our lawmakers that they introduced two-pot. It's not helping you in any way. It's stealing from your future. So the concept was introduced to steal. So I'm not a fan of Ilanduza taking out from two-pot. It was a concept to steal because the government, just research more about Ilanduza two-pot, because the government was failing and the economy was crashing. So I had to look for creative ways to loot the money. And they were like, oh, there is a two-pot system. We can introduce a two-pot system, people can access their retirement funds while they are still younger, like right now, but we're going to still tax the money. So they tax you on your salary, they tax you on your two-pot. They're taxing you when you retire. So they're taxing you 3 times. So that was the concept of two-pot. And then key elements of retirement planning. That's what you need to have a conversation with yourself, because elements is retirement planning. So good time horizon is knowing what you're investing for and for how long. So it's what you need to understand. So that's why there's also investment diversification. We'll talk about that, where you can have goal save for your emergency, but the emergency is not just standing still, it's growing. And then you can have Ilanduza, the lower risk, the slow burners, your bonds, which you can just resist decline, because a bond you can put a lump sum, you government your money that was going to be compounding at 9% on the duration, 9% per annum for 10 years. Then you know, this is how much I'm going to be having in 10 years. And then you have the tax-free savings, which you contribute all the time, depending on the performance and the ETFs that you've chosen, the tax-free savings, that depending on the longevity of how long you want to keep on contributing, but you can withdraw in time. Then you have your shares, which it's short-term planning. You buy the stock if the company is performing, and then we analyze the market. We see the company that you invested in is going to crash. then you can withdraw the money, sell the shares, and go invest in other shares. So that's what we mean with the time horizon. It's all about understanding yourself. So also the saving rate, it's how much you're saving each month. It's the discipline. You want to start by doing it in a linear form? I've acknowledged the hand. I see the hand that's raised. But you want to start doing now in a linear form. If you're going to start in the 300s, so that you can understand, you can have traceable growth. Don't invest 5,000 this month and then the next month you don't invest because you didn't pay some of your bills. Start with a small traceable growth and then you keep on adding and adding. If your sacrifices can let you do 1,000, you stay consistently for 4 months, and then you pay some of your things, then you can save 1.5, then you just do it like that so that you can gradually be motivated and grow, and then you know what you're working towards. Then investment growth, how much will your investment earn you? The percentage, the return on investment. When I tell all our personal clients are one-on-one, it's always those key concept is the Landuza, the interest rate, the return on investment or the interest rate. That is number one. Number two, it will be after the interest rate, it will then be Landuza. It would then be tax implication. Those are very important questions to ask, even when you're doing your RA. What are the tax implications? What are the withdrawal? What are the emergency withdrawal penalties? Yes, we are investing, but we can't not. Life cannot not happen to us, and we have emergencies. So that's the questions you need to ask yourself. Was the hand raised, or was I saying something? Do you still want to say something?
Sorry, hi, Nika. Thank you for the opportunity. Like, yo, bruh, listening to your voice has made me get rid of one of my very bad habits. And thank you so much for that. But my question is, if you have a good emergency savings plan, would you recommend that one cancels medical aid?
I don't cancel your medical aid. Don't. The Landuza, the role of a medical aid in the emergency fund is two different roles. The medical aid, the medical bills, and you don't know how the medical bills can go, and health is a luxury. Much as we're investing, but we're having good health is a luxury. Don't cancel your medical aid. But what you can do, you can look for other competitive medical aids. For that case of emergency, you can compare. You can compare the discovery and the benefits and the funds and that thing. Because what I hate with the medical aids, all medical aids, when at the end of the year they cancel out all your contributions and then you're gonna start from 0. So let's say you've been contributing the whole year, and then they've been deducting money from your fund, and then you didn't go sick the whole year. Because I remember when I was still in high school, my mother would force me to go wash my teeth, to go do checkup, and I couldn't understand in December because the medical aid was ending on the 31st of December. So in December, I had to go do full body checkups. Like, we need to exhaust the medical aid as much as possible. We take medication and everything, because the following year is that's another scam which the system is scamming us about. But I wouldn't say outside emergency fund and also a medical aid, because what you're not gonna like is that you've been contributing in your emergency fund, and then now you have a medical condition that will need a Ilando's operation of 80,000, and then it's taking from the money you've been saving, but you had an opportunity of a medical aid, so you can't have both.
It's just that medical aid, the amount of money you contribute and the savings you get, it is so unfair. It makes but yeah, it's another scam that maybe one day we'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll figure out a way. It is very
unfair.
unfair.
We have to figure it out because it's a lot.
Yeah, because some people pay about 5,000, 6,000 the medical aids, and then they don't get sick. Their kids don't get sick the whole year or for the whole 2 years or 3 years. It just becomes a misfortune, because I have a friend, as soon as they canceled their medical aid, they were going in and out of hospital, because they were like, oh, nigga, for 4 years I've been paying, but I canceled. Now I have to go in and out of hospital. So I don't know what to say.
I'm one of the people that pays like 5.5 because where I work, they don't contribute to my medical aid, but they require me to have medical aid. So it's me and my son. Like this year, my son has only seen the doctor once. I've only seen the doctor once.
I mean, go for it. Like, go clean your teeth. Go to a dentist. Go clean your teeth. Go have braces. Go have whitening. Like, do the thing that she needs to be.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like currently, that's the only way to beat the scam.
Yeah, it's to just go for cherry. I mean, my mother would force me when I was still in primary school. Let's go, nigga, let's go. But also compare plans, my mother. Someone was saying that compare plans. Look at different alternatives and their performances and thinking. But the lower the medical aid, the lower you can't be. The lower it's limiting in hospital. The lower it's limiting in other things, and also it's limiting in also the Landoza. The medical, the meds you can even take at the pharmacy and the
Over
pharmacy
the counter, yeah.
at the counter, and which pharmacies you can go to. So it has limiting pharmacies. When you the lower the price, the lower the lower the benefits. I just wanted to say that. Let me check the other person that raised their hand. I'll come back to the presentation. So we have Landoza. Is it Hlaiseka Dliwayo? You can unmute your mic.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to chip in on the medical space. As a former medical board member, medical aid board member, I always advise people do not cancel that thing. Because for me, I always say, since we drive, you'll be in a catastrophic accident. Anesthesians, they are not regulated. They will come and charge you 100,000 for keeping you out of pain most of the time. And unless if you have unless if you have 10 million emergency fund, then it's a different discussion. But you rather unlimited hospital is advisable at all times. But you can cut all the other things of visiting doctors and stuff. But in hospital, make it a point is unlimited, or else you'll be in trouble. I just wanted to chip on that only. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. So that's why again we need to have these conversations. Mambu, you can come through.
Thank you so much, Onika. Okay, I wanted to say to my sister, you should not cancel your medical aid. What happened with me was on a medical aid. In fact, I've been in this medical aid for more than 14 years, working from different companies, but using the same medical aid. But this year, after having joined this group, I noticed that for the past 2 years, I was paying plus or minus 7,000 per month. And it's only me and my son. And I said to myself, okay, what I would need is to just compare the options that they have and then downgrade. So that money, there's a huge difference now. I'm saving that money that I was using for the medical aid. In case something happens, that will not be covered. Like, for instance, if I go over the counter, I would buy in cash and keep the receipts and stuff like that. That's all. But do not cancel your medical aid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mambuli. Just going back to the presentation, then there's retirement investment journey. So there's with 30 to 40 years, that's why you need to start as young as possible, because the retirement age in South Africa is 65. So again, there's prioritizing your growth and tax efficient manner. So that's why that's why you know, we look at the graph. If you look at it, it's gonna be a slow burn and slow cook. So that's where the compounding effect, the very most important compounding effect, comes in. It's, if you look at the graph, it keeps on going like this and it goes steep. So the lesser the years, the lesser the compounds, but the more you have the years of been accumulating in your retirement investment, the quicker the compound. But if you took a good plan and you regularly have a conversation with your planner, which is your financial advisor, to say, how is it performing? Let's compare the markets, tell the fund managers to do that. Guys, please understand, with the retirement annuity and investment with these FSP companies, it's your money. You give them instructions. You tell them to compete with the market. So that's why we're even having this conversation, because it's to understand why is it performing like that? Why did you decide to do it like that? What are the better other options can we look at? And then there's accumulation. So there's that. If you see accumulation, it starts being linear and then it keeps going down, but it just goes drastically down. So now it's that capital growth. So when you are leaking your money, not injecting. So now you've retired, it's leaking, you're no longer injecting. It will stay at a certain thing depending on how it's supplemented to not keep leaking too much. So then you don't have any capital contribution. So the capital growth is limited or is stagnant. And it becomes equally important to have preservation measures whereby you have other strategies to supplement your thing, whether you have a room, you have back rooms, you have small side hustle and everything, so that you don't leak much of your retirement fund. So what we are trying to achieve is angry adults that are dependent quick Ramaphosa economy. That's also what we need to understand with the retirement savings. They need the tax efficient way. That's why I say the questions to ask, but I will send the questions to ask to your financial advisor, RAs, and we in the next session, in the next month, we'll include 2 sessions of RA to unpack for us retirement annuities first, and then also to unpack for us job securities. I just forgot the actual the actual financial name, and how income security measures. So we do both those in the program. We will do an RA deep dive session whereby the one who's licensed and skilled and works with the retirement annuities every day will answer you guys. But they are for Liberty. You don't have to commit with Liberty. I like him, but you don't have to compete with Liberty. There are other better FSP companies that do better, but he has the knowledge. So you can go to your financial advisor, knowing the question to ask an RA, what's the picture you're looking at? He does a very nice presentation, and then we can have an income protection plan, whereby in case of emergency, if your income runs away, or if there's a loss of income and injury, or you are fired or changed, but you are paying income protection plan so that your lifestyle doesn't change. So those are the things we're gonna cover. I hope you guys are understanding now, the people that in the rush, the concepts that are very important we need to look at. Now we're going to investment management. I think at 22 I'll give it to you guys a floor, so like in the next 50 minutes, so that we can speak and have some bit of engagement. As you know, but I don't like speaking alone. So we're done with the retirement planning. And then there's introduction into investment management. So the process of investment, it's that decision on how you invest your money. Do you want to do it daily? You want to do it monthly? Do you want to do it as a lump sum yearly? You have all those options. It depends on your goal and sitting at yourself and what you want. It's selecting the investment options, whereby it's stock, it's bond, it's funds, ETFs. There are many that are not listed here that we're still going to unpack. It's having building a diversified portfolio. As I think I said earlier, it's having your tax-free savings, having your RAs, it's having your stocks, having your bonds. Each and every one, they are sort for different stages in your life, but collectively they perform towards what you wanna achieve. Then it's managing the risk and return. Very important to manage the risk as much as possible. That's why we have stock analysis sessions. Those are part of managing risk, because we look at how the company is performing, how has it been going in the past 5 years, what's their focus in the five next years, what are articles written about this company, who's the boss, who's the landlord, who's the CEO, how is the CEO really carrying himself, what's the public scrutiny, what's the public belief about this, what is Twitter saying about these companies. All of those aspects can just affect your good investment with one major mistake. So the some public scrutiny companies that they can never come back because of that public scrutiny. So you need to understand. So that to the people who say, I just want to invest, Onika, tell us where to invest. We can't tell you. We need to unpack the company. Okay, where do you want to invest? You want to invest in We Buy Cars, or you want to invest in Clicks? What are the next companies we are doing? Let's look at Clicks in the past 10 years. We look, and then Umta will do the technical analysis of checking their growth. Is it healthy? Is it consistent? Is their stock price changing? We focus the next. We look at where does the variations. We look at how does it peak, how does it like fall. So those are the concepts we need, and we're gonna have to unpack. And unfortunately, you're not gonna understand in one session. And if you attend one session and be like, Onika, where do I start investing? You're gonna be confused. You can start in the simpler ones. And if you are in a rush, you can start with your more time, your time bank, more time savings, whereby again you just give you feeding your goal save, and then you say maybe you're gonna have a goal to say I will keep this money to invest in the next 6 months. You have another goal. I wanna do an emergency fund whenever I'm cornered. I can take there, have another, and then you can start getting after 6 months or after 3 months. You understand the person you want to be and what you wanna work towards. Then you can start going there. Then asset location is how you divide your money. So your money is an asset. But depending on your life decision, that's why last week we were unpacking your life decision, your habits, your snowball effects, your loan effects. I think there was Mom Carol who was just speaking, telling us her strategies, her sacrifices, her staying abroad, her black taxes, how she tried so hard to maintain black taxes. That's your asset location. Your money is the biggest currency, it's the biggest asset. And to you ladies, another side note is on shy, because what I don't like with you guys is not understanding the power of job security. To ladies in a shout, do you understand the power of job security? Having a good job, do you understand that power? But then happens, a lot of ladies, they don't understand they have job security. Then there's me who's gonna come with as a Onika. I already have 5 kids outside. I don't like kids. I have 1 kid and I'm not making any more because of my line of work and the concepts and what I deal with every day. There's Onika will come through, has 5 kids outside, just because when I feel like you're getting older and then you now just want to marry you quick. It's 3 months in the relationship, and then there's Amandwe, you sing the songs, you're doing the videos, the content, because you don't wanna not be married because your friends are married, or it has been your dad's dream to walk you down the aisle. And I send the lobola letter, and then my uncles, they are smart, they negotiate. Okay, the bride price is the lobola price is 60,000. I put 20,000 cash and say I'll come back. I don't come back. That is automatic income of property. And if you wanna leave me now, now later understood I have 7 kids, I'm a narcissist, I don't even have a secured income and whatnot. What then will do, the boys want divorce. There's a syndicate of boys that do that, and I get 2 to 3 clients a week of women like that. So that asset allocation is understanding having a job is a very big asset. Having income is an asset. And then there are men that study that because they know there are women that are vulnerable and desperate. So if you don't view your income as an asset that can generate more money for you, there are boys that know that and they know it's going to generate more money for them. So they will marry you after a year, 6 months, they file for divorce. They already have expert of lawyers that are doing these divorce things. They go calculate your provident fund because they studied you and you told them where you work and how many years you've been working there. You've been working here for almost 10 years or for almost 11 years. So they know what you've already accumulated, like around of $1 million, 2 million in your provident fund. Now Ngokumanje, he knows if he files for divorce, your provident fund is your asset. Now it has to be split in half. So what I'm trying to understand is making you sure that your job security is an asset, there is asset allocation. So allocate your asset, which is your income, to work for you. So there's stocks, there's bonds, there's cash and ETFs. We're going to unpack those. There's diversification, spending your investments, spreading your investment to reduce risk. If that share is not performing, but bonds are performing, so your portfolio won't look ugly on easy equities. If your ETFs are performing, but there's a war that's happening, the shares are not performing, you won't want to withdraw. It will balance out your portfolio. It won't just go downhill at the same time. As the risk and return, we've been saying that. There's the compounding, so it has that snowball effect, returns on returns. So if the simple concept of a compound, if your Landoza, your money is compounding per annum and 13%, so you have 100 rand. So after we do it with 100 rand, after a year it's gonna be 113. And then you still compute 110 in that thingy. So now you're gonna have 200 and 113 plus 113. You're gonna have 100 and 214. So now the next year it's compounding on the same contribution and the thing. So that's a compounding effect. That's how it goes. And then okay, I'm asking. It's my mouse. And then these are the basic investment concept. It's the bonds. Those are much safer. I have a lot of bonds, guys, because I'm a long-term planner. There's precious metals. We're doing Harmony Gold. That's part of a precious metal company. Gold is also a very good investment currency and an investment portfolio, because gold has a standard price in everywhere you go. Whether you have the gold of blocks and everything, and the price of gold never goes down, it just keeps on going up. So gold is one of them. Then there's stocks. Stocks is just having a portion in a company, and you keep on rebuying the portion if it's working for you, or it's and then we have a real estate. Then there are property portfolios that are on easy equities. We're going to unpack more, where we did unpack some estate companies that are doing good, that are leading in South Africa, and they are developers. And you see now we all want to rent a piece of the sky, which I don't understand the life we're going to live. We all want to rent a piece of the sky. So there are these big developer companies which they develop and then ama estates and sell these rental things of Ilandos, of apartments where you are in floor 13. Guys, then there's cash. So there's different concepts that we're going to unpack. And then there's the investment vehicles. It's the bonds. It's that chart that states the bond, the funds, the property. So that's what the presentation is saying. Then it's choosing the right asset. Number 1, stocks, bonds. 2, cash equivalent, real estate, other alternatives. I think Ubanzi has covered that. He just rushed into that. And the relationship between retirement planning and investment planning, very important concept. I'm just going to share the screen now because you guys are going to ask about what are you talking about, Onik? So the relationship of retirement planning and investment planning. So in retirement planning, set overall financial goals and strategy. It's your strategy whereby you have a planner. When I'm 65, this is how much. When I'm 40. So where the planner can tell you what you're taking in the next 20 years, you're going to have so much. And they have a base or a benchmark. That benchmark will be, it's 13% per annum. You're not going to get less than that. And then after 20 years of contribution, you're going to have 2 million base. It's not qagelaring. When we are investing, we are qagelaring. We are playing a guessing game. With having a planner, you are not qagelaring. I don't know what guys help me English. You are not qagelaring. Tina, we don't know how our portfolios would go with these equities. We depend on the performance of the company. But the fund managers of these FSP companies, they do a calculation for you, and then they say, if you keep contributing this 1.5 thingy, when you get after 20 years, it's going to be 3 million. So you have that base. So that's when it's a financial goal and a strategy. So you already have that strategy because they have the benchmark, and then you have that their promise, but it won't be lower than that. I acknowledge you to me, you're going to come through for me now. Ne? And then there's investment management tool used to achieve goals, specifically retirement saving goals and effective retirement planning. Well use of money and use investment strategies to help you reach your goal. How do you withdraw? How long do you withdraw? And then that's your investment strategies. Diversifying your money for your short-term goals, medium-term and your long-term goals. That's why we were discussing about goals. I don't know, my mouse is not working, guys. I think it can feel that I'm tired. Toby, you can come to so long. My mouse is stuck.
Hi, morning, good evening, guys. I just wanted to ask a quick question in terms of goals. Me personally, I'm stuck into two goals where you want to invest, you want to grow, but yet at the same time, you also want to open up a retirement annuity in terms of for these small little ones having a university fund or varsity fund so that they can accumulate their varsity. Would that comparison be the same as having a retirement annuity or an investment? 50-50.
The first, it goes back to your goal setting, is understanding how much do you earn, where do you stay, where can I sacrifice? Do I sacrifice my lifestyle? Do I sacrifice my bond? Do I go for a smaller car than the bigger car? It's first understanding that. And then number two, the younger the kids, the younger the portfolio for them would start. So on tax savings, or opening a portfolio for the kids. The old students can come through for us, and they already opened their tax-free savings for their young kids. You can open it in an FSP institution. So the younger the kid, the younger the performance, and you can check. So I'm not a fan of this varsity education plans because they put our kids, they don't cost so much for your kids, and they don't give you much. So a tax-free savings compounds better, and especially if you're doing it for your kid and for a planner, maybe she's still 5 years old or he's still 5 years old, then you'd wanna now withdraw when they're 18. So I can't tell you which one to choose or how can you do all three of them, your RAs, your investment for your kids and whatnot. It's just a matter of you choosing your strategy, choosing your structure, and choosing to sacrifice what you can sacrifice. But knowing what the end goal is to secure a financial future that's free, that's not holding you in debt, and that is making you a bit more comfortable. You don't want to see your kids now being a EFF students doing during res time in January and February because they can't get raised. If you can afford them a private accommodation, give them the privilege. Guys, give the privilege. Give the privilege. Like, you don't understand the value of privilege. You literally don't understand the value of privilege. Give the privilege if you can. You give the privilege. You're someone that I'm talking to recently. They grew up in Constantia. The Black parents, they grew up in Constantia, one of the richest suburbs in Cape Town. They did their grade, their primary school. And then now I'm understanding the culture shock and the dynamic, but it's a healthy one. It's not a wrong one. It's a wrong culture shock from a bow. There's just a culture shift. She doesn't sound black. She's not black at all. She doesn't understand the black things. Like, she doesn't get it. Like, in high school, she went to school with a car. In university, because her mother is like a computer science, whatever. She works from home. Even now, like, her salary, she never uses it because her father gives her that. If you can give the privilege, please do give. So those investment privileges, they will shift the mindset of your child to be someone else, like not them being boycotting each and every year for res or for NSFAS. Hey guys, that's messy. We did that. I did that. I wouldn't want my kids to do that. It was not healthy having to sleep on the floors when I was doing first year in a foreign setting. So there is an option of now opening a tax-free saving for your kid. And you don't have to contribute crazy amount of 5,000, of 1,000. Even if it's 300, 200 a month, you can do that. You can do 200, 300 a month. You can do that for your kids. And then also you have your tax-free portfolio, also contributing 300 a month. Maybe if you have 3 kids or 2 kids, and you split your Landuza, your tax-free savings in different accounts. You have 3. What I like about the money, no matter how much it performs or how is it invested, we're gonna unpack Ilanduza stocks and ETFs under tax-free savings, is that it doesn't get taxed. So that is your money. So that's the biggest advantage. So I can't tell you, Guti, how do you go about it when I say Guti, which strategy to choose. You have to sit down with yourself and say, Guti, oh, I have this loan that I've been paying. Let me sacrifice to pay it quicker so that I can get more disposable income so that I can split it for me. So I don't have a strategy. You can come through, you can unmute your mic.
Hi, Onika. Apologies for writing RL. My name is Rosalind. Excuse the voice. I'm not feeling well. Onika, is it possible to change your retirement annuity, moving it from a different FSP, like a financial service provider, to another one?
Yes, you can transfer your retirement. You can. It's possible. If you get another planner from another FSP companies that's promising you a good performance and everything, and when you ask your financial advisor, they don't understand. Remember, financial advisors are people like me and you. They just want commission. They're not gonna plan for you. They just want commission, man. Mina ngifuna upaya mina end of the month. Mina ngizokuthatha isipolisi whether iyabheda. Mina ngizotithatha sis. I just want to get paid. So
okay, so do you have? You can continue.
Sorry?
I was saying you can continue speaking. I'll ask after.
No, I'm saying that's why it's advisable to check the performance once every year. And Landoza, the financial advisor, it's paid whenever you pay your Landoza, your RA. Your financial advisor has a percentage in that money. So you are paying them to look after you. So they must show you the statement. They must show you the performances. They must avail themselves for a meeting to share how you're not happy. They must give you different strategies. You must question them. We're gonna give you questions to ask. It's your money, and they getting paid each and every month. They get a huge lump sum first when you commit to it on that first month, and then they get the annual thing. I have a financial advisor that I know whether he can work or not work, because he's been a financial advisor for like 20 or 25 years. He gets paid 300K a month. Because of many people took products from him, like life covers, REs, and they pay each and every month retirement annuities, salary protections, investment concept takes, a lot of things that were taken from him, the way he presents and the performance. Whether he works or not work, he gets his incentive as Ilando's as he commission. His commission gets to up to 300K. So you are paying them. They are working for you. So do request a meeting. They must show you a statement. They have a right to do that. So you have a right. And if you are not happy, look for a new financial advisor. Then the two companies will communicate. Then they will do a transfer of your annuity.
Okay, thank you.
There was a follow-up question. What did you want to say?
I think you covered it. You covered everything. So let me just explain. Where I grew up, there was no like a background of financial literacy or anything. So out of my whole family, I'm the one who just chose to say like, I'm gonna break this whole thing. So the company that I'm currently working for, the basic, it's good for me, but we also get like commission. So I was like, okay, I need to start saving money, because I used to see Banzi's videos, and I joined a group in the middle of the month, last month. So lately I haven't been well, but I did take the product with Liberty, which was an investment for 5 years, as well as the RA. But when I read the documents, I was not happy with the retirement annuity, especially after the whole years of investment. So that's why I was asking, is it possible? Because today during the day, I got a call also from Discovery that they are financial advisors. They would like to have a meeting with me. So, yeah.
Where's my friend? We are using him for to break down these arrays for us, and it's from Liberty. Liberty guys is Standard Bank. They're not going to give you good stuff. I'm sorry, this is not financial advice, but that's Standard Bank.
Okay,
Thanks,
I'm
Standard Bank.
currently using Standard Bank, and then the company that we work for, Provident Fund, is with Liberty as well. So I just went with them with the RA. But I'm thinking of changing because I'm not happy, honestly. Even when I read, doesn't make sense.
Sorry to interject. There are specialist companies for that, like your Alex Forbes, your Allen Gray. This is not financial advice, guys. There are specialist companies, your Alex Forbes, your Alex Gray, and then the new financial institution that's beating everyone in everything, your Discoveries. But the actual specialist companies for that, like your Alex Forbes, your Allen Gray. So you do call them and just tell them to transfer you to a financial advisor, request a meeting from them, and whether it's virtual or physical, talk to them and make them understand what you want. But there are specialist companies that actually deal with those things. So don't be afraid to go for those specialist companies. There are other FSPs that are dealing with other things. But there are specialist companies which their performances and they are known for years to be for about investment and growing portfolios and everything. So yeah, but I can go to jail. I can't tell you go with this one, go with that one, because Onyeka doesn't want to pass his exam of being a financial advisor. It's not easy to pass that thing. But are you sorted, RR?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Lonambo, Nomia, you can come.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I just have a question regarding the RA and TFSA. So I do have both. I'm using my TFSA as a supplementary to my retirement. So I just wanted to find, so because I've been like, before I started in RA, I did a bit of research, and then I came to learn about the Regulation 28 and how the RAs are regulated to split the investments. So based on that, I kind of like get an idea because of I think it was 30% when I checked for the offshore companies are only regulated to invest a maximum of 30% offshore. So with that in mind, I went with my TFSA. I made it like offshore 100%. So I just wanted to find if maybe you can weigh in on that. Would you say that is a kind of like a good advice, a good thing to do to just to push that percentage up? Because of currently, I think it's about 45%.
Okay, with your as you're saying is with your tax-free savings, you did offshore.
Yes, so I do have. I think I have about three. I have about 3 ETFs: MSI World, S&P 500, and then also I've got a tax ETF, which is the Nasdaq 100.
Yes. Those are good ETFs. It's fine. Those companies, those ETFs will always going to be performed because an ETF it's just an electronic fund whereby many shares of companies are joined together and they are performing. It was just the quickest way to make money for investors. They will not crash. All of those companies, S&P 500, all 500 companies won't crash at one go. Some of them will crash because of a war, but they won't crash in one go. So that investment portfolio is good. You must do a lot of ETFs when it comes to your tax-free savings. because it's many companies that are joined. There's top 40 whereby the stock is much more expensive, but you are getting top 40 best companies. The top 500 is not growing much because it's 500 companies, but top performing 500 companies joined together. So it's different strategies. Uba breaks down the strategies. There's a Warren Buffett effect, because Warren Buffett gets out about 500 million per annum in just dividends. There's a what effect, like he does take a deep dive for them, but you can do offshore if it's an ETF, but doing an offshore investment in a stock as one company, I'm a conservative investor. I am not a fan. Because these offshore companies, Trump just closes their world and then they crash. Yeah, I mean, I would like my companies local for stocks, because if my company is not performing, I'll go buy bread at Boxer every day if I have Boxer as the company that I bought stock from. Or if I have Pep, I'll go to Pep every day to go buy a vest and go buy clothes for my family and convince people to say there's a special at Pep. They don't understand why I keep on pushing Pep, because I want my money to perform, because I've invested there. So if it performs, I get more dividends. So yes, there's nothing wrong that you've done, sir, if it's ETFs.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, but the performance of your RA is depending on your statement and your planners. I can't have an opinion on that. And even if I wanted to, I'm not allowed to.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Miss D, you can come through.
Hi, Carol here. I just signed in on a different account. So I just wanted to weigh in a little bit on the retirement annuity. So
Yes.
the company I work for has a private company that does all the hard work in terms of investing our provident fund. So every year, what they do is they come back with financial performance of our provident fund. They do all the hard work and move around our monies depending on the performance. And I think every July and January, it's time for review and moving around our monies if needs be. If it's performing well, it's fine. If you want to do your own thing, that's fine. So what I did, because I have my phobia of just going to a private company, there is that option where you consult privately with the very same company contracted by our company that invest our provident fund. They give you financial advice and everything. So I was able to then make an informed decision in terms of the retirement annuity and skipping the middleman, as in paying commission towards the financial advisor, because I already have a financial advisor at my work who is helping in terms of help, not directly, but I'll present questions, I get the advice, then I manage my own retirement annuity. So what I'm trying to say is whoever maybe works with a company that have the option of having financial advice is already paid for, use them. It's some sort of a cushion, because they will advise you as one of their clients because you are under this umbrella of that company. So I was able to choose, I believe, the right option for my retirement annuity. And so far, I'm happy. It's performing just as well as my provident fund, because I've chosen sort of around the same companies they recommend that they've already done research on and are doing well.
Yes. That's a very good insight. As I kept on saying, we also do, as a company, as Tina Geo as future planner, we do a perusal of your retirement policy contract, whereby we can check to tell you, this is a rip off. You can't be paying 1.5 each and every month, and you're gonna get $1 million after 20 years. So with what Ulanuza Umisti Ukanyumam Carol is just saying is that you need to do the technical analysis and looking at the policy performances and those small written things, and what also compare it with the market and how the market and where the market is going. We also do that, but it comes at a fee, but it will help you and performing and not losing money, whereby we can peruse your document before you sign and commit. And also help you with the questions that will speak to you in the questions. As I said to you guys, financial advisors are human beings. They want commission. And I mean, if I can get commission, I will lie to you. If you're gonna agree to everything that I'm saying, I am gonna milk for that commission, Sham. I am gonna lie to you. I am gonna tell you something. So that's why we came into as future planner. It was to interrupt the space. That's why even in our estate planning session, we've interrupted the space so much. They hate us so much. If I would tell you all the country's masters, all the masters in the country, they are delaying everything that is future planner. They sold rich people to say we trust it for rich people. The wealth is gone. They lose their cars when they die. So we do proper planning for people. We write proper wills for people. So now when we file at the master, there's always delays and everything. So they're just trying to frustrate our service system as if we are not efficient enough as Black people. Because they can feel we interrupt the space. So us having the sessions and these questions is for you to question the FSP and to transfer your portfolio if you can. And to do that, like for example, last year, there was a girl where her mother passed away. They were still older, a bit older with their sisters. And Ilanduza, an FSP company paid the life cover. So it paid in their accounts, 50-50 split, 1.5 million each. And then get this bank, work with this FSP company. After that money went to the bank, it was freeze. Then she had to prove where it's coming from. After she proved where the money was coming from, it was cleared. And then they already positioned her financial advisor to invest for her. Guess how much the money was performing a year? A percentage where they investing the 1.5 million for her. Just take a wild guess how much it was performing. 4%. 4% per annum. It's even performing lower than inflation. 4%. $4. 4%. So they don't like us. They are not happy that there's this group. They know there is this group. They are not happy because you're going to ask the right questions and you're going to know the right institutions to invest. Because your bank will see you are doing good, and then they'll call you good. Hey, we are seeing. Can you still hear me? There was just a network glitch.
Yes.
Yeah, you're audible.
So so your bank will see you good. Oh, they are earning good, and then they'll present you with this nice wheel, and then you sign. You go, yeah, I need the wheel. Yes, put your kids. Yes, wheel. You sign. There was someone who called earlier today, frustrated about the capital legacy because their parent took a policy. You know what was written in that will? Guys, I know this is about investment. Do you know what was written in that will? They wrote a contract of all the capital legacy contracts say that. They wrote a contract that is saying everything that is owned by this individual must be sold, and then they will do a trust, which is the kids are going to access the money when they're 30. Mind you, the kids are already above the age of 18, so they have a right to access that money. If it was for minor kids, then that would make sense. Their parent passed away when they were already above the age, both of them above the age of 21. So now they're going to turn all the assets to financial assets. We secure bonds, we pay these houses for our kids to have a home. Now, these big companies make us take wheels or contracts that will make them sell the houses, and then they collect all the funds and put them in this trust. Guess who's managing the trust? It's them. Guess where they were when the kids are 30? Are they going to get the money? They're not going to get the money because they are charging management costs in that trust of 18,000 a month. 18,000 a month, 18,000 times 12. Calculate how much is that? It's over 200 and something. So if you left for your kids 2 million or 3 million, do you think after 5 years, how much is your kid gonna get? So it's us disrupting the space, because us as an individual, as people, we don't want to read, we don't want to understand the concepts. We don't want to do the right things. Guys, I think let's leave it at there. So question everything. So these sessions, that's why we're saying let's not rush. Because you want to rush everything. You want to invest now. You see people posting their performances of their portfolios, you want to invest, and you feel like these conversations are not much needed. You can does anyone want to say something? Can we any clarity you need? And we can take two or three people. Ongeza economic.
Hi, Anika. I just wanted to ask in Le Group, the other platform, I just forgotten the name now. I'm gonna tell you now.
Yes.
Yes, there is that other platform that Telegram. The history is not shared with the new people that are joining. Can you please just check your settings?
Yes. Okay, let me just check the settings, but probably for the people who just joined. Other people can, yes, I'll just re-forward it now. I'm just looking for another session. You know, sometimes we won't handle the sessions the same way, experiences and everything. I will reshare everything. I didn't think, guys, if the full company.
I'm not sure. Excuse me,
Sorry?
Anika. I'm not sure if it's only me or from my side, but we are Kika. You've been coming.
Yeah.
Can anyone confirm? Also,
It's breaking.
yeah. Maybe I don't know. Try
Breaking.
typing because
breaking up.
we're also running out of time.
Can you hear?
No,
Can
we
you
can't
hear me
hear
now?
you. You're still
We
cutting.
can't hear anything.
Bad.
Hello.
You're
It's still
cutting.
very bad.
It's still bad, Onik.
It's still bad.
Hello, am I still cutting? Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear
still
me?
cutting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's better now.
Yeah, what I was saying is that I'll send the Landuza the things on the Telegram group. I'll reshare the old links and the old documents. Do look at the document. Our sessions are based on conditions. We don't really take a deep dive on this school right now. And then Chalma, you can come to.
Good evening. I hope you hear me clearly because it's breaking a bit. Onik, I just want to ask you a question. Maybe it's not related to what we. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Moya, we can hear you clearly. It's only Banzi who's speaking.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. Hey, child. Sorry. So I wanted to find out something, Onika. With regards to the letter of executor, I just want to check something. It's not related to this, but I did inquire with you guys, but I just want to get an understanding of something. Do you guys have like attorneys that are around in Mthatha, or everything is done only telephonically and online?
Okay, what do you need from the attorney?
Okay, like for an example, for the letter of executor, and also there's the people that I'm asking for, they just need a bit of a clarity about our mother's estate, because she had some debt that she has done through the bank for other people where she bought like cars. So they needed to check if maybe can they meet up with one of your team, but they're in Mthatha, and I believe it would be best for them to see that person who can help them with the wrapping up of the estate, and also with the letter of the executor, also like face to face, because there are a lot of things that they don't make sense there, and I believe they will need to just get a bit of clarity.
Wait, are you saying the mother took cars for other people, but in her name?
Okay, yes. So I'm gonna give you just a scenario. My mom took I'm saying my mom bought four taxis, but these taxis don't belong to her. They actually under her name, but she was taking them for other owners. These owners, how they paid her, they were paying the money to her account to be able to pay for the taxes. But now that she's late, the issue is these taxes fall under her name, and the worry is they're not going to be paid because her accounts are closed for now. They're still trying to get to do the letter of the executor, and also now they need just a bit of clarity with other information relating to specifically this, because she has a credit, which it has because she signed up, she took the cars, but they are personally not hers because the cars are belonging to other people.
I think she can just write on the future planner number, and then maybe we can have a consultation with her.
We need to have a consultation to unpack this, but it is doable. It's something that's not a trade smash. If the executor is then granted the opportunity to be an executor, and then the people that are paying the taxes are willing to continue paying the taxes, then it's fine. If they're not willing to continue paying the taxes, unfortunately, the debt is going to go to the executors and the beneficiaries of your mother. Unfortunately, guys, listen to this. This is another very beautiful concept. Your debts follow you even in your grave. So if the people that Umama Gatelma or whoever took the cars for, they're not willing to pay, the banks are gonna look for the cars in the family. Then if they can't get the cars, then they'll keep on chasing the family members that are listed at the master as beneficiaries for the loans. So it's a very technical case, but it's an easy case. We can assist with it. But don't take loans for people, because the banks are gonna chase your family, not you. And the people that are registered with them.
I want to check. So do you guys have an office like somewhere maybe in the Eastern Cape, or you're only based in Joburg? Because these people are in the Eastern Cape and they're closest to Mthatha.
No, we can have a virtual conversation. It's 2026, so we can have a meeting like this. Even if they're not in the same room, we can send the same link and then we can all speak together and then we unpack a strategy and try to sort this mess out before it falls into the beneficiaries and before the cars decline and then the bank is chasing for their money. Unfortunately, with huge amounts of money, there's a collateral asset that needs to be attached with that. So they're going to start looking for the taxes.
So it's going to be a bit messy longer. So it needs to be sorted as easy as possible. But after that virtual session, after getting all the information and the insight, we'll have a point of direction, and then we'll asset and then we will then assign an attorney that will be dealing with the matter. And then even if they're doing virtually or not virtually, it's quick, it's solvable. We assist everyone with estate matters, even anywhere in the country. So it's gonna be sorted. But that was a bad deal what your mother took. But it's sorted. It can be solvable.
Thank you. Okay, I'll reach out to you. I will just speak to them and then I'll come back to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good night, guys. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much. Good night.
You.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Bye.